Hello everybody, my name is Thanos and today I'm going to review my first network radio that just arrived this Monday. So I'm talking about the Inrico T199, which is a screenless rugged radio. And basically you can find this on eBay, Amazon or any other resellers for around £100. This device is running Android 4 in the background, so this means it's basically a regular phone, just like the phone you might be using right now. That means you can install pretty much any PTT application that will allow you to speak with others. And this includes Zello, Pinit, or Echolink if you're licensed. And as long as you have cell phone coverage, you basically have unlimited range. The most important part are the specs of this device. So the first thing we can notice is the external antenna, which is a 3G antenna, and the two knobs on top. This one is the volume knob, and once you give it a little bit of a turn, the device opens. And the second knob here is the channel selection knob, which we will see later how these work. Now, on the side here, we can notice the three buttons. The first one is the PTT button, and it's actually pretty good of quality. You can hear the sound as you press it. And the other two buttons are programmable. You can pretty much set them to do anything, like launch an application or go through Zello, and then maybe click this one to go on Echolink. On the other side, we have this case, which is the input for a 2-pin handheld microphone or earpiece, and let's actually open it to see it. So this is the input for the 2-pin input, and then we have this micro USB input. This is basically where you connect this device with your laptop using USB. Right on the back, we can notice that we have the belt clip, a hand strap, and a removable battery, which is actually 4,000 milliamps per hour. Pretty good. And on the top, we can remove the battery by using this small button, and here goes the battery out. We also notice that on the back here, this is where you can put the SIM card and basically use this without Wi-Fi and just by cell coverage. So as long you have a cell phone signal with a mobile data plan, you can use it and talk freely. The belt clip and the hand strap might be useful if you're working somewhere and you don't want this device to fall or be damaged. So you can put your hand here on the hand strap and use it like so, or you can just clip this on your belt. This device comes with a charging station, so it's this thing with the 4 pins here. And you can see that once you connect it, it basically has an LED here that shows you if it's charged or not. In order to connect the charging dock with your laptop, you can use this. You can use this USB cable and basically connect it with your laptop, and then you take your Inrico device and you put it right like so. Now, the most important part for the Inrico T199 is that you need to program it. So in order to do that, you must have a micro USB cable, and then use the Inrico device, connect it right here, and then plug it in on a USB gate. If you want to charge your Inrico T199, you can use also this socket adapter if you don't have USB around, so that is pretty useful. And basically, that is it for the specs of the device. It feels pretty rugged, so I think that if it falls one or twice, it's going to be okay. Although you should avoid throwing it on the ground. As with all devices, well, the Inrico T199 has some pros and cons. I've written down four of each. So the first pro is that it's license free. So you don't need a ham license to operate it because it's basically a mobile phone. The second pro is that it has practically unlimited range as long as you have cell phone coverage, which that might not be the case if you're climbing a mountain, if you're on the desert or somewhere that basically doesn't have signal. The third pro is that you can customize it so much just by installing any applications you need. So you can just drag an APK with Zello and you can leave it opened and that's it. And finally, for the pros, it has a better signal than regular phones because of the external antenna. So, this has this 3G external antenna, but it will also be able to get more signal strength. Now, for the cons, I've written down also four cons, and the first one I noticed is that theoretically it's useless if it doesn't have cell tower coverage. So, as I mentioned before, you need internet to operate it and communicate with others. The second thing is that it doesn't work out of the box. So if it just arrived and you open it, you launch it for the first time, you won't be able to communicate with others immediately. You have to plug it in your laptop, get a program to access the screen like Visor or Total Control, and then install the applications that will allow you to get in touch with others. Then it's not 4G. So if you're using a SIM card, your area might not support 3G anymore because it's pretty outdated now. And finally, it's a screenless radio. I don't see that as a con because because I find it a bit annoying when you have a screen in front of you and you might press things accidentally. Although I do acknowledge that a lot of people don't like the fact that it doesn't have a screen because it's a bit difficult to get it going, or you might be confused into why it doesn't work. So having a screen sometimes helps a lot. So yeah, I've put that in the cons, and that's it for the pros and cons of the device. Hey everybody, so I've gone outside in my garden and I have with me the Inrico T199 and a Samsung Galaxy S3 with me to actually make a test transmission and check the audio and the quality of the device speaker. It's pretty windy, cold, and cloudy at the moment, so not the perfect conditions to be testing this, or maybe the opposite, so we can test it a bit better. So I have gone ahead and already opened my Enrico. It's currently tuned in on a custom Zello channel, which also has the Zello account for this device as well. So we're going to leave the Inrico T199 on somewhere isolated and make a test transmission with the Samsung Galaxy S3. So let's go ahead and do that.
November Romeo 282. This is a test transmission from my Samsung Galaxy S3. The wind might be getting a bit in the way, yeah, the weather is cloudy. So, yes, this is a test transmission.
On an ending note, I think this was a successful test, what we did there with the Inrico and the Samsung Galaxy S3. So I created a private channel and basically paired these two devices together. So as long as they're mobile phones, you can actually use them, and as long as you have an internet connection, they will be in range. One thing to note is that when I was testing the Inrico, basically I didn't put a SIM card in it, although I had turned on the hotspot from the mobile phone that was recording, which has 4G. So essentially, I think this is a good tip if you want to actually have 4G. So since we usually have our mobile phones together, we could turn on the hotspot and basically turn on the Wi-Fi on this device and instantly have good internet. Also, one thing to note that I forgot before in the specs was that there is an LED here that actually turns from red to green and the opposite. So it's red if you're transmitting and green if you're receiving. But this is for the Zello application. So software-wise, you need an application that can take control of your Enrico. And that means that for other PTT applications, they might not have support for the device. So you need to make sure you're using an application that can support software-wise the PTT buttons, maybe the buttons on the side, the knobs, the volume knob because it's system-wise. So yes, this is very important that you must be using an application that can support it software-wise. Other than that, thank you for watching. This is the end. If you actually have an Inrico T199, feel free to leave your comments. If you're using it and you find an issue, you can mention it. I'll be happy to answer. Or if you're thinking of getting an Enrico or just have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. I've only been using this for like 3 days now, so I'm kind of new to this as well, and I thought of making this review to help you understand better what's all about this Enrico T199 and the network radius as a whole. So yeah, that's all for me. Goodbye.